Hello and welcome back to Focus Atlanta. Again, I am your host, Keisha Lancelin. Thanks so much for continuing to watch. In this segment, we're going to talk a little bit about Lyft. I'm here with author Amy Summers.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Oh, thanks so much for coming on the show. Well, you got to start at the beginning. What is it about mentoring and mentorship that you think people forget as they get into the workplace?
Well, I think that we've made mentorship into a thing, and it's not really a thing. So we've made it into a program, we've made it into a title. It's something we have to check off our list to do now. But before all this hybrid and remote work was around, we just went to the office. And I think people were just mentored. I call it mentorship by osmosis. They were just mentored by just being around people. And we're lacking that now. So we kind of have to make it into a thing. It's kind of like having a date night when you're married. It's like a reminder of like, hey, we have to work on this relationship. But I think the word mentorship and having a mentor, it's very intimidating. So in my book Lift, I try to simplify it so that people realize that mentorship just should be part of your leadership lifestyle. It shouldn't be another thing on your to-do list.
I love that. So, I mean, are there simple ways that we can add this into our everyday activities, everyday things that we do in the workplace that just kind of, like you said, organically lead to mentor opportunities?
Absolutely. First of all, whether you call yourself a mentor or not, you're a mentor because somebody's watching you at all times. So you're either, leading and setting good examples, or maybe you're leading with some bad habits and bad examples. So we're always mentoring. But my message is to just make it part of your daily routine. So mentorship really is just relationship. And so it's how we're relating to others. And with all the technology we have, at home and at work, that's really blocking us from having that human connection. So you want to look at opportunities to have human connection with people.
I think that sometimes, as people are in the workplace, they feel like if they ask their boss to mentor them, they're going to be bothering them. Or if they ask someone to do this, it's going to be a hindrance. Can we talk a little bit about comfortable ways to kind of bring up the topic?
Sure, it may feel super awkward to ask someone, can you be my mentor? But it's kind of like asking someone, will you marry me on the first date, right? So, but I think that, when you're looking for mentorship, you're just looking for opportunities. So be on the lookout for anybody that's in a position at work that you might want to have. Ask them if they need help. Offer your assistance before asking them to give you something. Just simply by working with them, you're going to learn a ton. So even if it's not part of your assignment, not your department, if it's somewhere you see yourself in a couple of years, get to know that person and see how you can help them. And just by helping them, you're going to learn a ton.
Oh, I love that. And you mentioned, working from home and hybrid work, which a lot of us are doing right now. Sometimes people feel like they're not seen. The work is getting done, but they don't
Mhm.
feel like they're being seen. Do you have any tips for those people in terms of mentor opportunities, even though they still work from home?
Yes, being absent from the workspace, puts a lot of stress on just your productivity. So it just seems like all the time the boss or the manager is just looking at what is your output instead of, what is your progress. So I would encourage hybrid workers or remote workers to update their managers or bosses more frequently, just on their progress instead of waiting until the project's all the way done. And so that way you're developing a relationship as you go along. You may be able to ask questions. Don't be afraid to pick up the phone and get some human connection as well. And just doing that will really help advance you and keep you seen.
Excellent. Well, for those of us who want to pick up the book, and maybe even for those who already have it, is there a website that we can go to and kind of use your knowledge through, while we're reading the book? Maybe you have some tips on the web that'll, help us do things a little bit better.
Yes, so the book has 10 touch points in it, and they're just little things that you can do throughout your day, either at work or at home, to develop better relationships with people. And this is the core of mentorship. So you can go to lifttolead.com and you can find the book on Amazon or wherever books are sold online, and you'll find a ton of information there.
Amy, thanks so much for making time for us here in Atlanta. It was a pleasure to meet you.
It was a pleasure to spend some time with you, Keisha. Thank you.
Absolutely. All right, guys, we can do this. I know a lot of you are thinking, gosh, I haven't asked for a mentor since my first 2 or 3 years in the business. But even as we mature in our careers, we still need those opportunities, right? We still need that growth that a mentor can provide. So don't be afraid to ask. Don't be afraid to broach the topic. Take the opportunity to go to the website and maybe get the book. Thanks, guys, for tuning in to this segment of Focus Atlanta. We'll be right back with more.